Hello, and welcome to Talking to Food Safety Professionals. My name is Dr. Jennylynd James, and I'm a food safety professional with over 25 years of experience in the industry. With me today is Jyoti Sahasrabudhe. Hello, Jyoti.
Hi, Jennylynd.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Talking to Food Safety Professionals. Now, Jyoti is the president of Sahasrabudhe and Associates, and she has over 40 years of experience in the industry. So we're very excited to have you with us on the program today.
Thank you.
But Jyoti, tell me a bit about how you got started in the field of food safety and quality.
I got my bachelor's degree in biochemistry at
Okay.
Queen's University, and I was working in a laboratory doing
Yeah.
research.
Oh, yes.
Very solitary occupation. And I realized that I don't like being alone all the time.
Okay.
I wanted to have a job or an occupation, a career that involved people.
Yes.
My
Yes.
father was a food scientist,
Oh, okay.
and he said, Jyoti, food always involves people.
Yes.
And we will always need people that work in the food industry.
Yes.
So I decided to get my master's in food microbiology at the University of British Columbia
Okay.
in Vancouver, Canada.
Yes.
And that's where I started. My first position was at Kelowna Wines in Kelowna, BC,
Yes.
where I actually did research on looking at the waste products from the wine industry.
Oh,
So extracting anthocyanins from the grape skins, um, you know, doing a variety of things. So I was there for a few years. And during that time, we had our first daughter. And
okay.
then I really wanted to be closer to my family. When
Yeah.
you start having a family, you want more support. So we moved to Toronto. And then I worked for a soft drink company,
Yes.
developing alcohol-free um, wine-flavored beverages.
Okay. Interesting.
After that, I worked at American Can, who was also Onyx Packaging for a while, in their metal can division,
Okay.
doing technical support. So analyzing why the customers had problems with the cans and things like that. And then I moved into plastic packaging,
Okay. So that's
and
a
I
teaching experience.
yeah, I traveled across Canada with a little portable retort, showing customers, how
Yes.
to use the little plastic cans that were about this high.
Yes.
And that because it was new technology, it required different processing.
Okay.
So I did that. And then after that, I went, let's see, I guess my next job was in Manitoba, where I worked for the National Agri-Food Technology Center,
Okay.
where I and my team helped people develop new food products, right from an idea to a production plant.
Okay.
And that was actually one of the best jobs I ever had. It was something new every day.
Yes, I can imagine.
And then after that, I came to Calgary and I worked for Weston Bakery as a QA manager.
Uh-huh.
And at some point many years ago, I I left um, Weston Bakery and I started my own consulting company.
Yes, yes.
Very, very hard decision. But I had a mentor that said, Jyoti, you can do this. And I said, no, I need a paycheck, right? I need to know that I have a paycheck. And he said, no, you can do this. And so I started consulting in 1998.
Okay.
And, the first little while my first contract took a while. I did a lot of work for free for
Okay.
people.
Yes, yes.
And then I did a small contract for the Canadian Council of Grocery Distributors.
Okay.
And I never looked back. So
Ex-
I've been consulting since then. And as part of my uh, as part of all my services, I still do consulting. I
Yes,
became a BRCGS auditor,
yes.
and I've done over 400 and
Oh
some
my.
BRCGS audits. I'm now I have been for quite a while a principal trainer for
Yes.
BRCGS.
Mhm.
I do audit reviews and I do a lot of training.
Yes.
And
You were my trainer. I tell people
yes,
so.
I
Yes,
love training.
yes,
Food safety is really my passion. I
yes,
think that it is so important and that it's good that we love what we do.
yes, yes. Well, that's an amazing, more than 40 years of experience, and
Yes,
especially in many different product categories. Very exciting career, very exciting.
yes.
So, but what challenges are you noticing these days in the industry? Because, things may have changed over the years. What do you see now as a challenge?
Well, one is technology, but I'm not going to go into that because that is a whole different subject. But
Okay,
when I started auditing, it was the beginning of BRC and GFSI audits in North America.
okay,
So when I went in as an auditor, it was exciting. The sites were excited, like
yes,
this was a big goal.
okay,
And we used to celebrate when the audit was over, right? Like you were treated very special
right, right.
because it was new and it was exciting. I don't think that happens anymore. I think
Okay,
now audits are just routine things that companies have to go through. Some companies embrace it and they want to do their best and they're very responsive to your comments and
yes,
they do a really good job in putting in the corrective actions and making sure they're implemented. And then there are still companies that just want a certificate.
yes,
And, they sort of argue with you about, no, that's not what the standard requires. They don't give their whole heart to it. Like I think that
exactly,
management commitment in some cases is not as strong as it could be.
exactly. I've
And
seen
the
it.
the other thing I think I see is that auditors are now younger, and that's not a bad thing, except some of them don't have the width and breadth of experience, the depth.
Yes,
So they often don't know what what a real hazard is. Like a site can talk them out of something, perhaps.
okay, yes, yes,
Right. Whereas I think with more experienced auditors, it's harder to pull the wool over their eyes,
yes,
right?
yes.
Because
So,
I know what should be done because
yes, they
I
don't have
have a
the
good
work
breadth.
experience. Yes, the
Yes.
work experience is lacking, so they just follow the script.
Right. And they often I find some um less experienced auditors also see things in very black and white.
Yes.
Like you either do it or you don't. There's no gray.
Okay.
Whereas when I was auditing, I always looked at the food safety risk.
Yes.
Is it really just a little error in documentation that doesn't have a big impact I'm
Right.
looking for systemic failures of the food safety system. And
Right.
so when I'm training, because I train sites and I train auditors, I also get to train ATPs.
Yes.
So I feel it's important to pass on the importance of how you think. I always tell sites when I do an audit that I'm really looking to see how they think.
Oh,
How would they handle something that goes wrong? And do they have the systems and the people in place to make the right decisions?
yes, yes. So we are going to talk about this topic in depth in a later interview. It's very exciting. So what about new graduates? Would you encourage them to get into food safety or even people now entering university? Is this a field that you think they should get into?
Absolutely. I think that food safety is one of the most important professions there is. Food safety is not a marketing tool. It's non-negotiable,
Right.
right? All the food that we sell must be safe. We don't want people to get sick. We want to be able to sleep at night as QA people and food safety people. We want to know that our product is safe. It is one of the most challenging and exciting professions. After all these years, it is still my passion.
Yes, yes.
I I think it's a great career and it will be required for a long time. I think if you want to get into this industry, you should build your career. You should start and you should explore as many different opportunities as you can.
Yes,
Like in my experience, I've worked in many different food categories.
yes,
And
definitely.
I think that's what made me a very successful auditor and a consultant.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. This is all we have time for today. I sincerely appreciate your contributions on the program, talking to food safety professionals.
Thank
And
you for the opportunity, Jennylynd.
please hit the like button, like our video, and remember to subscribe to the channel Food Safety Smart so you can be notified every time we interview another amazing food scientist. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you.